What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Taste Like Music. Jason and Joe here, covering The Cult this week. If you missed it, we ranked their 11 studio albums in our last video, so go check that out. And like we always do, after that video, we follow it up with our top 10 favorite songs. So, top 10 favorite songs of The Cult. What's your number 10?
My number 10, I'm gonna go with Sweet Soul Sister from Sonic Temple. I just think it's a heavy rocker, it's confident. Sonic Temple comes along and they just get really good at choruses. Like all of a sudden they add that to their repertoire on a more consistent basis. And Sweet Soul Sister has a great one, very strong bass line, good drums, just kind of a classic cult sounding song, but
All right, my top 10 is pretty hit heavy, more so than my lists usually are. But starting it off with a more recent track, I've got Knife Through Butterfly Heart from their latest record. It's my favorite from that album. It's a great slow burn track. It builds up with some awesome orchestration. Has maybe my favorite Billy Duffy solo in it. Really cool solo section. There's a bunch of different sections to the song. It's one of their most epic tracks.
my list, I believe, is all of three albums. So you're gonna get a lot of the classics, none of the deep cuts. Number nine, Big Neon Glitter from Love. Really like the rhythm section, especially on these first couple albums. Just that driving gallop, kind of post-punky, big boom and bass. I like Billy Duffy's guitar work here, a lot of big open chords, tons of reverb.
Number nine for me, I'm gonna go with Rise from Beyond Good and Evil. Sure, it's a little new metal-y. Specifically, it reminds me of Godsmack. But that said, Ian Astbury sounds great on it. I think the chorus hook is awesome, and the pre-chorus riff launches the chorus really well. I think with a slightly different approach and arranging and not trying to be so heavy, I think it would be higher on this list, but I still think it's a great song.
Number eight is going to be Go West from their debut album. And it was very weird to me to hear this and think about, 1984 and think about this kind of sounds like the Smiths. Like some of their influences definitely, they're definitely drawing and pulling from the same stuff. They're both British. Um, Asbury kind of sounds like a humorless Morrissey every once in a while. And on those early records, Billy Duffy isn't totally different from Johnny Marr with his single notes, a lot of jangle, a lot of those big open chords. And yeah, you got that like post-punk rhythm section as well. And it's kind of weird to think about the Cult and the Smiths being similar, but you listen to a song like Go West and you totally hear it.
My number eight, maybe a little low for some people, but I'm going Firewoman here. Shout out to Severance, great needle drop this past season. Just an awesome song, one of their most immediate and epic songs. Huge chorus, great lead work, an obvious hit, and yeah, just a good one.
Number seven, I'm gonna go with Sun King, another very hard rocking tune from Sonic Temple, but also very melodic, very atmospheric guitar playing. And you listen to this after the AC/DC ripoff of Electric, and it just sounds even better.
My number seven is Spirit Walker. Back to the first album for this one. Nigel Preston's pounding tribal drums really stand out on this track. Also, some really cool guitar work. Also, kind of reminds me of like REM meets The Cure.
Number six, Rain from Love. That crying guitar part in the intro is great. It gives way to this muscular beat, strong riff. I think all of the songs on Love have a great atmosphere. Rain, great example, just very dense sounding and just it's a great sound. It's a very unique sound that they cultivated and perfected on Love. And yeah, Rain's just a really good example of all the stuff that they were distilling on the album.
My number six is Lil Devil. I love the slinky riff on this track. It's so incredibly simple, but it just grooves really hard. Duffy going from Spirit Walker to this in just a two album span is pretty wild. And whether you like it or hate it, I think he proves himself to be a pretty versatile guitarist.
Number five, going back to Sonic Temple for Edie Ciao Baby. Very poppy, very strong bass line, very different than most of the stuff they've done. This is really their first like true ballad. A lot of dynamics. They had some strings in here. I really like the sound of the acoustic guitar on it. And it kind of made me think like they probably should have done this a couple more times. They kind of get locked into certain sounds and certain just like momentum. And really, once you hear Edie Chow Baby, you think, they could have done some more stuff like this with a little bit more sort of distinct parts and a little bit more, um, you know, I don't know. It doesn't sound like anything else in their catalog, and it made me think I wanted more of this sound from them.
Yeah, I think they're actually pretty good at ballads and they don't do them enough, but I've got a couple in a row coming up. My number five is Nico, which I think is one of their best ballads. Asbury sings the heck out of it. Really strong vocal performance. It's got a really sweet melody and sweet lyrics, and yeah, it's a good song.
Number four, Nirvana, opener to Love. And straight when you hear it, you think, okay, they distilled their sound, they perfected the sound from the debut, and you got that just like perfect mix of jangle, gothic, psychedelic, big, just all-encompassing sound, tons of reverb. But even with all that, they managed to rock really hard. Like they have that driving hard rock spirit to them that, it just brings the whole thing together and really just kicks butt for 1985, especially, I think.
My number four is Revolution from Love. Reminds me a little bit of Psychedelic Furs and their ballads from around the same time period. It has like a quintessential 80s feel to it. And I think it's a really well put together track. Billy Duffy utilizes a bunch of different guitar tones and like layering tracks and really builds it up into what it is.
Number three, I'm going to go Soul Asylum. Another just very immersive tune. I think there's just like little touches on this that I noticed that really add to just the overall experience and sound. Rare case of like harmony vocals on the chorus, which I don't think I ever really remember them doing in a way like this. It's a little hair metally, but I think it works. They also throw in this plunky sounding acoustic guitar, which adds a nice new dimension. There's some harmonized guitar parts and a pretty cool solo. And it's just them, they had a sound and they didn't really deviate it from it, except for when they totally deviated from it. But like, I think they could have used more songs like Edie and Soul Asylum, where they're just adding like little things, little touches in to expand their sound on the albums that they're on. They kind of get locked into like doing the same thing for a whole album. And the song like Soul Album shows that they could do other stuff and add more elements into songs and still make them good and still sound like the cult.
Did you have Nirvana and Soul Asylum back to back on your list?
I did.
Interesting. Number three for me is Edie Ciao Baby. I love the 12 string intro on it. The string arrangement on it is really cool. Another one of Billy Duffy's best guitar solos. And just a great vocal performance, too. Just an all around really solid song.
Fire One, number two, it just kicks ass. It's one of those indelible riffs that you just never really forget. And it's just one of those songs I heard it. They play it on the radio a good amount. They played on a lot of different stations, so you'd hear it a fair bit. And just never got tired of it. I've heard it a million times, and I still, anytime it comes on, it's just like volume up, volume up. And unfortunately, I was hoping there'd be more songs like that in their discography. A little light on the Fire Women, but you can't take Fire Woman away from them.
Number two for me, you called it one of their worst singles. I've got Love Removal Machine, which basically just nicks the riff from Start Me Up by the Rolling Stones, but they just throw a ton of power and attitude behind it. And Ian coming in at the beginning when he says, just check this one, I think is badass. They just have a swagger on it. I think it's super cool. And I think it's really catchy.
Well, it looks like we're getting two bifectas in a row because if you have anything other than She Sells Sanctuary is number one, I just don't know what to tell you. It is my favorite. It is Fire Woman levels of like earworm, just never forget how it sounds, but it's even like a little bit more cool, a little more unique. Just the way it comes in with that jangle is so awesome and then just explodes into this great riff. And, as much as I like Firewoman, it kind of sounds like other stuff. Like She Sells Sanctuary could only be the cult, I think. And I think that's what elevates it to the best cult song.
Yeah, my number one also, I agree with everything you said completely. An all-time classic, some of the coolest guitar work of the 80s. The riff is one thing, but then you got those acoustics that come in and punctuate it is just so cool. And then also the structure of it. The song like doesn't have a chorus, which is so bizarre. It's just like Ian Astbury comes in, sings a verse, and then hands it off. And basically that riff is the chorus. And they just go back and forth. Yeah, and it's one of the best driving songs, especially if you're planning on speeding. Just really, just, yeah, great. All right, let us know what you think of our lists and what we missed. Drop your own list in the comments. Hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. You can check our video description for links to our website. We just launched a new one, tastelikerecords.com, where we are selling some vinyl. Our new record label has launched. You can also support us on Patreon and vote on things and hang out in the Discord and talk to like-minded people all about music. And yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.